of people complaining bitterly recently about LGBT. Nansenya, you say maybe could Black Star Square for kese any ade issues. I feel crowd no recently over I think it's last weekend or so, and also a mom it was circulating so more worrying but apparently they're already married, but LGBTQ we are fairly okay in Ghana now. Era Afenyo-Markins abekasa utwum say NDC for push LGBT agenda and no mobile umabu maswebu so to say they don't know what is happening. Yenkote nsema or the etuja, but then before that according to Nsema Era Afenyo-Markins canon we saw how NDC campaigned with LGBT particularly some George or no, you're one person or pioneer does a whole thing giddy. And recently, the syllables will say, there and also a better just say, more at the LGBT facts and be acquisition, the sex of say, Obana, Bema, so my yen some way somehow be a year TLMA teachers for Ebe Yusuni Imuno. And then I'll be a topic of for conversation. And with what Afenyo-Markins is saying, it doesn't mean that NDC for deliberately are trying to squash this whole LGBT thing from happening.
So me kind of say what's the New Patriotic Party or more NDC for maybe who is a diversionary tactics to divert and near so in the New Patriotic Party prior to 31st January election and only some will be more who is a smart way be obe yi o ma dwene de free NPP for so na omo e de akọ NDC for so na je say akọ bo machi because you can LGBTQ plus ne wan ansem a the first person ni din beba wano Honorable Sam George.
Yeah.
What has he said about this LGBT since omo ba ban no?
Okay.
That is the question people are asking. And na omo sanso bisa say den and na 8th parliament no we e de ade na to president and himself on sign. Yes, you say parliament go na parliament for buy strategy be fresh. So why don't they review what they did in the 8th parliament so they can speed up with a process no?
Okay.
And you know and am the pardon na who they say as a NDC for omo omo also that to omo na ase ana omo efra ben nti say NPP for omo ebo ma ji enko ne ngotie nsemo a Afenyo-Markins ono agasa de tu dwane ensamra sisi
told the whole world that there was a need to pass an anti-LGBT law. Basically, they said that to protect our own culture, our religious beliefs, there's a need to pass a law that will criminalize any acts of lesbianism, gayism, etc. They were loud on the streets of Accra. They went into our villages, engage the media, engage religious leaders, engage traditional rulers. 1 year down the line, they've been in office. They have gone quiet on this anti-LGBT law. We hear His Excellency the President play on words, claiming that the government was doing wider consultation to see how the law could be formulated in a better way. Really? But was it not the same law that they said it was okay to be passed? And again, when the mighty minority members decided through private members' bill to now pin them to their own principles, suddenly, after all the processes have been followed and approval given, and the motion was on the other paper, the NDC, through its majority leader, found a way of using procedure to claim that there was no such approval by the Speaker and tried to scapegoat the clerk to Parliament. As we speak, they have refused, neglected, and deliberately denied the people of Ghana that anti-LGBT law that they themselves spoke about. To make matters worse, our own curriculum, they have found space to introduce this promotion of sexual rights in the curriculum of our children. When they were exposed, this is what they had to say, that it was a mistake and that an anomaly What an anomaly. When government documents have been printed, circulated, and signed by no less a person than the sector minister, and through the vigilance of the minority, you get exposed, you now say it was an anomaly. We don't accept this. We hold a view that the NDC used the anti-LGBT law only for power. And now that they are facing the reality, they want to find a way of running away from it. We will insist that
the minority leader, Afenyo-Markins, which say LGBT and Semwa, they've been fighting for an anti-LGBT bill, banning this lesbianism, gayism, all these things from the country Ghana. Now, so be seen there, yeah, campaign so we still now yente ehun eshe. So at this point, what does Afenyo-Markins want the NDC to do now?
Well, we say I'm gonna a majority in parliament. Almost also speaker and I mean the same energy on the shame when the 8th parliament was in session. And that same energy now more expect is only be shame a 9th parliament, because within a year there, Nenka adi omo the year campaign and nti ebimu jina so to abatia the New Patriotic Party. Na say Nenka omo expect senka ye buy within 3 months crowd there. That should be your first priority. But Prez Mahama say they are very silent on this LGBT bill. You so the same energy they gave in the 8th parliament, they should give the same energy to the 9th parliament. Habib Idris so the NDC for no or deceive Ghanaians.
Okay.
Also buy a bontia or be a kasa, quickly near Habib Idris. Then some more the two jar. We are there to so if we had them.
Okay.
He thinks that the bill is passed. It's on record that he said on the floor of parliament that left to him.
Yeah, that's true. But subsequently things have changed.
These people, the double standard and the hypocrisy is that they campaign on the back of the fact that the New Patriotic Party and the then MPP led Akufo-Addo government did not want to pass the LBT. 1 year along
we passed, assented to.
Listen,
we are talking about
we didn't want to assent to
yes,
because it was a private member's bill. 1 year along the line, it has not.
Why didn't you assent? If you have assented,
when you have 2 men kissing at the Independence Square, recently it happened. Yeah. When you have this LBG in our curriculum,
if you have assented to it, if you have assented to you have 2 men kissing.
I am saying that the NDC government deceive Ghanaians.
Oh, no.
They campaign.
But do you acknowledge that?
They did politics with it.
Do you acknowledge that factually at the leadership level in Parliament?
No, there is nothing like that.
Okay.
Because I have raised it on the floor of Parliament.
Speaker had no
the minority side.
It remains
and you know the hypocrisy. Previously, you could see that when Honorable Bejre and Co were sponsoring it, they were even more on their side sponsoring the bill in the 8th parliament. But in the 9th parliament, it is a different story together. When Reverend Ntim Fojo led the team to file the motion, the speaker himself, including the majority leader, said that the motion has not been admitted. Speaker is saying that they are going through other processes to make sure that the bill is now either realigned, properly done. And then why is it that the form that it was passed, you were putting pressure on President Akufo-Addo to sign? What is wrong with it, passing it in the same shape, the same form for President Mahama?
So where is
the
bill as we speak right now?
It's still in Parliament.
There is nothing like that. There is nothing like that.
Before Parliament.
I am telling you on authority that there is nothing like that. Because I have raised it. You can easily just Google it. I raised it on the floor of Parliament. And I have said that. Let me make my point. It is on record. It is on record.
The first deputy minority whip, Maitre Habib Idrisu, and I could see in Sema what they etuja, not just a uti in Sema what the okay Canada, NDC for Adada Ghana for Acheyepa. Now, yes, sorry, Sansem so. Na Yenko P a year and some for Eswa. Recently,